The history of Labor Day in Trinidad and Tobago. Elma Francois. Born on October 14, 1897, in St. Vincent, Elma Francois came into a world of hardship and destitution as her parents toiled as laborers on the island. Relocating to the capital city of Kingstown alongside her family, Francois bore witness to the appalling state of society, characterized by wretched living conditions and her own family's struggles with poverty. These first-hand experiences kindled her passion for political engagement and advocacy. Her initial foray into activism commenced through her encounters with fellow cotton laborers who toiled alongside her on the very plantations. While working as a cotton picker alongside her mother, Elma Francois managed to acquire her primary education, reaching the equivalent of the 5th standard level. The meager wages for this grueling work were typically a mere 12 to 14 cents per day. Remarkably, even at a young age, Francois demonstrated her activism and advocacy for the welfare of her community. She made efforts to organize her fellow laborers at the Mount Bentig factory, striving for improved working conditions. However, her actions were met with repercussions, and she was ultimately dismissed from her job for her efforts. This early experience exemplifies Francois' early commitment to fighting for the rights and well-being of her people, setting the stage for her future endeavors as a passionate and dedicated activist. In 1919, Elma Francois decided to pursue fresh prospects and made the move to Trinidad. She had to leave her 2-year-old son, named Conrad, behind with her mother when she needed to migrate to Trinidad and Tobago for better opportunities. This period coincided with the turbulent era of the Caribbean Depression, where the quest for economic opportunities took center stage. To make ends meet, she took on the roles of a washerwoman and a domestic servant in the bustling city of Port of Spain. Remarkably, at the tender age of 22, she embarked on this solo journey to a foreign land, determined to establish her autonomy. Shortly after her arrival in Trinidad, she became a member of the Trinidad Working Men's Association, which was then led by Captain Cipriani. The organization's name was later changed to the Trinidad Labour Party after 1934. Diverging from her peers within the organization, Elma Francois pursued a distinctive path in disseminating political and social activism. She organized rap sessions held by candlelight in public squares throughout the capital, aiming to enlighten and educate the nation's people. Leading hunger marches in and around Port of Spain, she sought to inspire, stimulate dialogue, and draw attention to the prevailing inequality within the country. Rather than remaining distant, Francois chose to immerse herself with those in need, engaging in conversations, interacting with them, and integrating herself into their lives to gain a genuine understanding of their struggles. It is crucial to acknowledge that she, too, hailed from an underprivileged background, considering herself as one with the people. Pushing beyond the boundaries of the Trinidad Working Men's Association, TWA, she frequently took a stand during rallies, challenging her colleagues for what she perceived as their gentle approach in addressing the complex societal issues prevalent in the country from 1936 onwards. In 1934, a new labor party called the National Unemployed Movement, NUM, was established, and Elma Francois played a crucial role as one of its co-founders. Over time, this party evolved into a more extensive and organized movement, eventually rebranding itself as the Negro Welfare Cultural and Social Association, NWSCA. The NWSCA espoused socialist principles and focused its efforts on advocating for the rights and well-being of the impoverished and the working class, particularly within the context of the country. One notable accomplishment was the introduction of a structured framework for female coal workers at the docks in the capital and domestic servants. The NUM also took a firm stance against the Shop Hours Ordinance, which regulated the opening and closing hours of businesses. They contended that the ordinance exhibited favoritism toward larger, white-owned enterprises, thereby detrimentally impacting black-owned businesses. By 1935, Elma Francois had risen to a prominent position within the Trinidad Working Men's Association, TWA, attaining greater visibility among the people. Unfortunately, her increased prominence also drew the attention of the authorities, making her a frequent target for arrests due to her activism. Francois became involved with the Butler Party, which overtook the Trinidad Working Men's Association, TWA, as the main voice of the island's workers, which won 3 of the 18 seats in the 1946 elections, whereas TWA won none. She participated in the Butler riots of 1937, which began in the oil fields as a protest of working conditions, wages, racism and exploitation. The police attempted to harass and infiltrate the NWSCA party meetings in support of the oil workers. The year 1937 marked a significant event in her life when she became the first woman in Trinidad and Tobago to face charges of sedition. Alongside notable figures like Tubal Uriah Buzz Butler and other members of the NWCSA, Francois stood trial in what became known as the Sedition Trials of 1937 to 1938. Demonstrating remarkable resilience, she chose to represent herself in court. In a testament to her strength and conviction, the jury ultimately found her not guilty of the charges brought against her. Elma Francois was a formidable figure who defied societal norms and challenged the established status quo, particularly as a woman in the early 20th century. In an era when Caribbean society was heavily segregated by gender roles, she fearlessly took on leadership roles, organized marches, delivered powerful speeches, and fearlessly confronted men who held seniority and enjoyed public attention. Her actions were indeed extraordinary and rare, as they deviated from the expected roles assigned to women during that time. Francois stood out as a lioness among men, leaving an indelible legacy through her remarkable achievements. Her deeds and the enduring impact she made serve as a testament to her incredible strength and courage. The untimely passing of Elma Francois on April 17, 1944, came as a sudden and devastating shock to the Negro Welfare Cultural and Social Association, NWSCA. Her death dealt a severe blow to the organization, as her unwavering drive and passionate leadership were irreplaceable. Despite the significant loss, the impact of her life and story should never be underestimated or diminished. Her remarkable journey continues to serve as an inspiration and an invaluable chapter in history. In her home country of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, she remains a notable figure, while in Trinidad and Tobago, she was rightfully honored as a national heroine on September 25, 1987. Elma Francois' legacy endures, leaving an indelible mark on the collective memory and reminding us of the extraordinary contributions she made to her nation and the struggles for justice and equality.